Alright friends, hello. I am excited about today's video. I am doing a Q&A. I asked some questions over on Instagram, or had you ask me questions on Instagram and on my community tab. And I got some wonderful questions that I'm going to hopefully answer most of your questions if possible. So this is a video that you will probably want to grab a cup of coffee, a tea, sit down and listen, or do a task while you're just listening, because it will probably be a little bit longer, but I hope to answer a lot of your questions. I had some very good questions, some really just interesting ones, some deeper questions, some Christmas ones, and maybe I'll do the Christmas ones in a video in November, more related to other Christmas things. But I'm gonna start with some questions I got off of Instagram. So first question, and I'm not gonna name names, I'm just gonna start off with questions. Oh, and they are in no particular order. So first off, are all your children going to share a room as they get older? So if you didn't know, we have 3 kids, 5-month-old, 2-year-old, 4-year-old. The 2 and 4-year-old are our daughters and they share a room, and our 5-month-old son is in our room. When they're younger, yes, they will share a room. We do have an unfinished basement that we hope to finish in a like 3 or 4 year term or goal, to put an egress window. It's unlivable right now in the basement, so make it an extra room that maybe our oldest could live in. So that is the plan so far. What is your best advice for someone wanting to start a YouTube channel but is not sure? So with that, I want to say just start. I waited so long to start. I've been doing this a long time. My channel has not grown real fast. I was teaching for quite a few years while I was working on this channel as a side gig, and I finally pinpointed a niche too, so that has helped. But I'd say that's important, to start a YouTube channel and find a niche that fits what you enjoy or what you think people will enjoy watching. All right, my 3rd baby is the same age as ours, so 5 months old. How do you get him to sleep while you get so much done? Okay, so with all of our children, we do follow baby-wise. So this is a pattern of where you have them sleep, and then they eat, and then they have wake time. So that really helps, just getting them on a schedule after the first month of their life or so. Like first month, you just cuddle them, hold them, whatever you need. And we do let them cry it out. 20 minutes for us is okay. Our little boy, Elias, he has been the easiest baby for sleeping. He doesn't sleep through the night, I do have to tell you that, but for naps, he'll talk himself to sleep. I did have him in our swing to nap every once in a while, but I said, nope, he's gonna go in the bassinet, and he just learned to transition there. He loves it, he's comfortable in it. He naps pretty well traveling to other people's places in pack-and-plays. So some of that is just how the baby is and how well or easygoing they are, but I think training them young to get on a schedule is so helpful, because he takes 3 naps right now. A pretty solid morning nap, about an 1.5 to 2 hour afternoon nap, and then a cat nap for like 30-40 minutes in the late afternoon. And it's just having them on a good schedule, and all my kids nap at the same time in the afternoon, so that's how I can film this video for you guys as well. So schedules for littles is so important. All right, next question. Does your extended family live near you? And she also asks, did you grow up on a farm? So I am from a small town 2 hours away from where we are, and that's where I grew up. My husband's family is about an hour away from us, so we don't have anybody in the same really small community we live in. So we live in like a town of 700 people, and I did not grow up on a farm. However, my dad is a farmer and has a farm, and the farm is currently being lived on by my brother. So my brother and dad farm together, not cattle. We just do grain farming, crop farming. So I did help on the farm often. We'd go out and chop thistles and machete corn down out of the soybean field. So I worked on a field rock picking, things like that. But we did live in town, but went out to our farm often to help out there. Let's see. Are you going to send your oldest to school next year or homeschool? So if you've been following me for a while, you or have heard as I've talked about it, I've been homeschool preschooling right now, and we plan to continue homeschooling. I was a teacher, a music teacher in public school for 6 years, and I just think I just have come to recognize the importance of homeschooling for our family. So I plan to homeschool all our kids, Lord willing. Do you see yourself staying in your current home long term? So this kind of goes with building on to or renovating our basement. We don't foresee ourselves moving in the future anytime soon. God could change our plans. He could call us to go live in another community, live on a farm, live near more family, since we aren't really super near family. So as of now, this is where we see God having us stay. We love our church community. My husband owns his business here in town and has employees. So this is where we see ourselves. And I love the small house, 950 square foot, unfinished basement. But once we get that finished, it would probably make it like 1,400 square foot. So still not large. And we're a family of 5. So as of now, this is our home. All right, favorite YouTubers. Oh, there are some good ones. I'll throw a few out there that I enjoy watching. I don't watch YouTube near as much as I used to. I just don't have the time to do that, and I don't need to be watching videos when I'm around my kids. So that really happens like at this time when I might be working on another task or in the evening. But I really enjoy Hillary, Old World Home. Shout out to my friend there. She's a great one to watch. I enjoy Farmhouse on Boone. I get a lot of her sourdough recipes. I follow her blog really more than I do her channel. Natalie Bennett is a wonderful YouTuber that I follow. Elliott Homestead, I enjoy watching them. Parisian Farm Girl, I also like their podcast, Homemaker Chic, that they do together. Let's see. There's some other ones, like every once in a while I'll click on some different homesteading ones. Even though we don't have homestead, I love the gardening, the things about learning about different animals. I used to follow Jill Winger when she had her YouTube channel, but she has a podcast that I listen to a lot. Melissa K. Norris, I will watch her and listen to her podcast as well. So those are some of the ones I do enjoy and watch and follow. So they're a lot more like homemaking, homesteading oriented than anything. All right, some of these questions are multiple. People had multiple questions. So first one, was I named after someone? So my real name, full name, is honestly Davy, and my middle name is Danielle. So Davy Danielle, and I was named after my 2 uncles, David and Daniel, and on my mom's side. So they picked Davy Danielle as my full name. So no, it's not a nickname. And yes, it's with 2 E's. Sometimes you'll see Davy with EY or IE, but this is my full name, Davy, and Danielle is my middle name. Oh, here's some deeper questions. How do I stay present in the moment? This is something I pray about because it is very hard if I'm doing a task to have a toddler come up to you, ask you to do something with them, and to set that task aside and look at them and give them full attention, or to be very present with your spouse. I think it's very important to be present in the moment and where we are in our stage of life. I think not getting on Instagram often or watching other YouTubers as often has helped me. I just find that living where I am in my life, in the community I am, is very helpful. Especially I am our women's group president, our leader there, so I have to make sure I'm present with our church ladies in the moment I'm in and touch that and reach that community as well. So I think that's just something your heart has to really, I've had to pray about it and really work on that, to just ask the Lord to help me take other distractions away. Not saying that I don't, I definitely feel like that, but to just be present in the moment. Like they said, takes some effort and prayer. Did I grow up knowing the Lord? I grew up in a church-going Christian family, and I did accept Christ when I was a child, but my faith grew more extensively, and I think I truly figured out who Christ was when I was in high school. So yes, I did know the Lord growing up, and With that, the same person asked, what values are the most important to instill in your children? Wow, you had some deep questions there. So I think most importantly, knowing the Lord and just trying to be the best example of Christ-likeness that they can. But with that comes having good character, knowing morals. That's something that society really does not have anymore. Knowing what's right and wrong, which is totally out the window. And being respectable, also being hardworking. So this really just things I want to instill in them from when they can walk and talk to when they leave the house. So I think that's just so important. First of all, getting your priorities straight in your life, knowing the Lord, loving your family, being a hard worker, respectable, in that order is so important, and things I value in training our children in. And my husband and I absolutely agree on what we raise our children like and how we want them to be. All right, just wondering if there's something you've tried that hasn't worked out as a homemaker, I think they're getting at, or has been more effort than it is worth and you've gone back to purchasing it. Let me think here. Oh, I used to try to make almond butter. That wasn't worth it. So time consuming. It was just a lot of effort on my food processor and blender. So I did not do that anymore. Let's see. I'm not a huge sewer and mending clothes, to be honest. I honestly think I can find things cheaper at a thrift store than I can mending a pair of my husband's pants, because that's just where I'm at in my stage of life. I don't have, it's just where are my priorities. I'm not going to prioritize sitting down for a couple hours mending holes and patches and lots of things. I can sew a button on. I could sew a pillow if I needed to, but I'm not going to mend big tears and rips in jeans or clothing. I find it more valuable to prioritize my food or my gardening or time with my family than patching and mending. So I have found out that purchasing or thrifting is a lot more valuable to me in that way, and things I no longer really do, and will just purchase the clothes secondhand. Those are really the things I can think of. I'm sure there's more, but I can't think of that right now, I guess. There's a lot of things I don't DIY, I guess, that I do purchase instead at this stage of my life. Maybe I'll DIY later, but like canning, I guess I love canning, but there's some things that I will not can, and I'll just purchase and have canned on my shelf. So I do hope, I think there's a question about canning actually somewhere in here. I'll get to that. All right, how do you balance homemaker duties with staying home versus getting out? And also, where do you find contentment in that balance? Ooh. So I think I commented on someone's question in a video at one point, and it was a similar question. They asked the same thing, like, how do you not want to get out and go often? I am a homebody at heart. I've always been a homebody as a little girl. I loved being home and doing homey things. So I probably get out once or twice maybe a week. And when I mean get out, I mean like go to the library with my kids in our small town, not like our big city that's an hour away. Like that might happen once or twice a month, where I go out and go shopping with them, or we go to the park regularly. That's like getting out, I guess, when it's nice out. We go outside a lot. That's not really considered getting out. But I just think routines are very important. I talked about this in a video I shared of having a daily routine for kids, especially. My kids thrive on routine. My oldest does love going out and about, but I think it's okay to be home. I have a little homeschool group that I'm a part of with just 3 other moms and their kids, and so we do that every other week, and that's a fun get together for us moms and for the kids. So, you know, just prioritizing what's important for you. You may be one who needs to get out a little bit more. I just love being home and having that routine and having my kids help in the routine, and yeah, that's just part of it, I guess. here's some more Christmas ones, but I am gonna answer those in a different video. All right, where do you find inspiration for homemaking, motherhood, Christian living? Let's see. I think I find inspiration through God's word, honestly, like Proverbs 31, the Titus scripture passages, friends I have around me. I just have a really core group of friends. There's a couple who are homemakers, homeschooling moms who I really glean from. I find inspiration through some other YouTubers I follow, like Natalie Bennett's she really is just an amazing lady. Hillary, I find inspiration from her. I find it through like mentors I've had in the past from my church community. Also my mom was a good homemaker and instilled a lot of homemaking skills. I do more than she still works outside of the home and did when I was little, but she only had a part-time job. But yeah, just finding that value from my mom as a Christian homemaker and mom. And I just think if you can find a core group that is in person, I really believe in in-person community, that just is so encouraging and inspiring. Sometimes it's overwhelming to have online community because you can't just throw all your ideas out there and get feedback real well, but I think it's important to have that in-person community. What are my favorite home decor YouTube channels? I really like Pine and Prospect Home. Farmhouse on Boone, her older house is kind of my style when she lived in her smaller home. I used to watch She Holds Dearly, not very often, like I said. I don't do a lot of that anymore. I kind of more do just now what I enjoy and put together. And Elliot Homestead, I love the cottage style, but I don't do that much. Sometimes I'll get inspiration from Miranda Christine's channel on some decor, but yeah, I kind of just go with what I like. Check Pinterest every once in a while. Just see what falls together. Look at magazines. Yes, I love magazines and find inspiration for my home. Oh, this is a fun one. How did you and your husband meet, and how old were both when you got married? We met in college. So we were in choir together. Actually, first we knew each other. He ran cross country. I was a golfer, and I hung out with the cross country girls more than I did my golf team. And I got to know him that way, but I got to know him better through choir because for a prerequisite for graduating, being a music teacher, I had to give private voice lessons to 8 different people, and my advisor recommended giving voice lessons to Blaze, my husband, because he was not a great singer and I liked him first. And so kind of just kept going from there. I pursued him a little bit more than he actually pursued me, but the Lord had a plan with that, and we got married after we graduated college in 2014. So I'm sharing my age here. And so how old are we? That was 9 years ago. So I would have been 22. Yeah, just had turned 22 years old when we got married, if my math is correct for me. And he was 23 when we got married. We got married in July. So that was kind of our story there. Do you have any tips on grocery shopping? And she asked for me to share more hauls. I do share some grocery hauls every once in a while. I have not in like the past year, but tips on grocery shopping. Okay, so I do not buy name brand. I do often buy organic though. I just have found value in that, but that's up to you to decide. Like if I shop at my local store, I will shop their sale flyer. And if I see there's a bunch of produce on sale, I will buy that sometimes because I don't get up to a big city more than every 2-3 weeks. So I will shop at Aldi and Walmart basically for like the necessity type things like the fresh produce, and I'll either do Costco or Azure for my more bulk shopping. And like right now I have an Azure order coming in. I'm buying 60 pounds of apples because I will can them. I will make apple butter, I will make apple sauce, and they are on sale right now. I buy bulk cheese from Azure. that's a really good raw organic cheese. So I do like shopping sales. I definitely do. Like if there's canned vegetables on sale at our local store or at Aldi or at Walmart, I will make sure to buy some of those up because having those on my shelf is important to me. Sometimes I do have to buy things in the moment, but that's sometimes just how it is. So shopping sales, I guess that's like the biggest tip I have. And if you can find bulk deals, if you have a family, that's wonderful. And freeze things, can things, dehydrate. I'm going to dehydrate some apples and pears. Oh, I'm buying more pears. So that's very helpful if you can do that to preserve it in some way to make it last longer. Would you like more children? So that's a good question. As of now, we would like to have 4 kids. That's God's plan though, God's timing. And yeah, we'll just let the Lord lead in that. But we have 3 right now, and we would hope to have 4. Are you still happy to make videos on YouTube? Yes, like I said, I have been doing it for quite a while. It was a hobby. It still is a hobby because I'm not a large YouTuber, you guys, but I love all of you guys who follow me and are so encouraging, and it's fun. I find this so enjoyable. It's just an outlet for me, really, along with my blog, with writing some recipes and some decorating, things like that. It's just fun to be creative in that way. Probably since I don't do music as much anymore, I really find this fun as an outlet for creativity, video content creation, and blog post writing now. And then they asked, how did you and your husband meet? I already answered that question. Another Christmas question, so I'll do that in another video. All right, how do you manage your time? Do you meal plan weekly or monthly, and how do you plan time for yourself? All right, how do you manage your time first? I like routine and schedules, and I really like to make a small list of what I need to get done in my planner. The priorities I know I have to do, I write down, and anything on top of that, it just happens. I do follow a weekly cleaning schedule that I shared a video on a year ago or so, and I follow that. I have a printable, I hang it where I can see it, I know what needs to be done on each day, and get that done. Nap time is crucial for me, so sometimes it's hard when nap time doesn't go as planned, when one kid doesn't nap or they fall asleep a lot later than the other kid. That's a little bit tricky, but I think you just have to be really diligent in your time. I don't like wasting time. All right, I had to replace the battery on the camera. My rest time might be different than your rest time. I did a video on this too. I enjoy time for myself with baking and out in the garden, or honestly creating a YouTube video. I do read every once in a while during nap time. I might take a nap during nap time, but they're usually like 10-15 minutes. So time for myself too in the morning is important. When I have time with God, in His Word, time with my husband, I have noticed if I don't get that solid hour of time doing my little exercises, time in God's Word, and time with my husband, my day just feels a little bit off. So making sure to prioritize getting up early enough for me is really important, and something I've established in my daily routine. And so yeah, time for myself. I do sometimes get out and get away. I'll go up to a larger city and have family watch the kiddos for a couple hours, but that's more like once every other month. So that is something, I think it's just something society has pushed, like as a mom, you gotta have time out by yourself, to yourself, go out with girlfriends once a week, go on date nights once a week. And so that is another question too I'll answer here. I remember one was, do you and your husband have date nights? Yes, we do, weekly stay dates. And then once a month we try to have a date out where we'll hire a babysitter or drop them off at family in our city an hour away. So I think it's so important to have that quality time with your spouse, and I value quality time, but it doesn't have to be going out and watching a movie, going out to dinner. It can be sitting playing a board game after the kids go down at night, or having a day date if you're able to do that. So anyways, next question, what are you currently reading and what is your favorite book? So I am currently reading Jill Winger's Old Fashioned on Purpose. That has been a good read. I'm only like a quarter of the way through it because I don't read as much as I wish I read. I loved reading in middle school and high school. Like if I got in trouble, I was grounded from reading because I wouldn't do my chores or my tasks because I wanted to read so much. So that is something I'm currently reading, and I do love reading and value it. I think a book and picking up a paper book is so important. What is your favorite book? I don't, like, besides the Bible. That's just my most important answer is the Bible. There's a lot of good books out there that, like, it depends on if you want novel, if you want nonfiction, if you want fiction, if you want like an encouraging book for like a devotional type book. So I don't have a good answer for you on that. I'd probably have to really think on that a little bit more. All right, next question. How do you stay so calm? I had 4 children and was not always so calm. So I really try to just be encouraging and just be encouraging to you guys. But I do want you to know I fail. There are moments when I burst out in anger and I have to ask for forgiveness from my children. And there's times where I don't handle a situation the best. And so it definitely, we're all human. We all fail in certain ways. If you're a Christian, you know, we're sinners. And so that is something that I have to continually pray about is, Lord, take control of my emotions today. Don't let my emotions control me. Let me be able to control my emotions. And if I do struggle, help me to be able to apologize and explain what happened to my children, ask for forgiveness. So I am not always calm, just to answer that and put that out for all of you to know. I am not always calm. They also asked, is this our forever home? As of now, this is where we are. Let's see, I think wisdom on valuing simple, slow home life while also balancing getting kids out. So that I've kind of already touched on that topic as well, where I find it important to be home for 3 days of the week, maybe get out and about 1 or 2 days of the week, get together with other moms and kids, go to the library, go see, go shopping, whatever that might be. So I did already touch on that just a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed and I got to answer some really fun questions. I haven't done a Q&A for about 2 years, so that was fun to get some good questions. The Christmas ones, like I said, I'll have to put in another video, maybe like answer them while you watch me decorate for Christmas. Let me know if you'd like to see that. That'd be kind of fun to do. Anyways, I really appreciate all of you guys and all the time you guys spend watching my videos, those of you who subscribe, those who go over to my blog, those of you who just send encouraging messages in the comments and on Instagram. So thank you all for watching this video, and I will talk with you in my next one. Bye.